Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV, the only place to be for your pre-match pump-up. And today we are back. The Premier League is back on what would have been Sir Bill Nicholson's 106th birthday today. And I just saw that Jose put in the chat his famous quote, "It's better to fail aiming high than to succeed aiming low." And we of Spurs have set our sights very high, so high in fact that even failure or having it an echo of glory. And what a way to start the bloody show. I'm feeling more pumped than ever now, Jose. But I'm joined today by Jimbo, Jose and Chang. Jimbo, first of all, how are you doing and how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Feeling confident. Nice big win today, I think. I think the boys are going to come out there and show us how good they can be at home.
Let's hope so. I hope so. Mr. Jose ElTelCockerel, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It's game day. As I said, been a supporter for many years. Always look forward to game day. Always look forward to seeing Tottenham play. And today is no different. Again, as we know this season, because of the competition that we're in Europe, we know that we're going to have plenty of Sundays.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. And breaking news, this isn't the real ElTelCockerel. Wow. I thought he was gracing us with his present. Yeah, I know, I'm devastated. And finally, Mr. Chang, last but not least, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I am having the best of Sundays for a good year. Since last year, this is a celebration for me and I think the Asian community. That's been a year in the making. We are celebrating our Lunar New Year on Wednesday, the 29th of January. So I'm going to crack open a cold one in anticipation of a great match day ahead. But nothing to worry, guys. Knowing me is nothing alcoholic. This is just a tonic. I'm not going to do anything unsavory on camera. But otherwise, enjoy your Sunday. Have a great match day ahead. And come on, you Spurs. Back to you, Miss Kate.
I was going to say, Chang, you're not old enough to drink, are you? We can't have underage drinking on the stream. We don't want to get Ben and Sim in trouble.
I almost did a spit take. Now I've got tonic water up my nose.
Sorry, but what a way to start the day. I have to say, I saw this today from Shemtam, read an article today. Levy could sign 3 players on 250 grand a week and still be within 50% of the turnover. Levy should be embarrassed. It stinks of institutional cowardice. A lot of talk about Levy. Before we go into the game today, Jimbo, are you getting a bit frustrated that the transfer window's only got, 8 days left and we still have only signed a keeper?
No, I don't get frustrated, Kate, because there's no point because it's out of my hands. So yeah. What will be. But I mean, everyone's saying it's been a terrible window. So far, it's been a terrible window. But there's still 8 days left, is it?
Yeah.
So let's see what happens in the last 8 days. I still think the 2 players will be incoming.
Okay. Jose, do you share Jim's optimism? Do you think we're going to have any players coming in?
I think the difference this year for the first time ever, not Tottenham Hotspur because they don't change, but the first time ever this year is that the European competitions go into late January because it's the first time we've done the 8-week form or the 8-game format. So therefore, I think a lot of clubs are keeping their powder dry. And when I say this, I'm talking about clubs in order to sell players are keeping their powder dry because a lot of the ones in Europe want to see where they end up after this week. So by Thursday of this week, we will know what 9 teams or whatever it is. Yeah, I think it was 12 teams or whatever have dropped out of the Champions League. We'll know what 12 teams have dropped out of Europa, and God forbid if you look as far down as a conference, 12 teams have dropped down from that. Then some people depend, then they will depend on where they are, and some people may look to push on players to get a bit of money in. So the window's been extended till the 3rd of February, Monday the 3rd of February. So, I felt and always do feel that when these windows, if I look at it as a whole, a lot of the movement in these windows tends to come at the end of the winter transfer window. However, in saying that, I'm going to go look on the other side of it. We've known where we've been since the summer window closed. We know that all the injuries we've had all the way through to December.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got your plans for the following summer. Some of these plans should have been brought forward. Kinski's been brought forward, right? And they got Kinski in. But it's just there's got to be unless we're in it, there must be other players on our list that we've looked at that surely we know that we've got all these injuries and we're in a bad situation. I feel that we could have done a bit more at the beginning. It's hard because some clubs may not want to budge because they can't bring players in. But when you look at someone like Man City, okay, they're a beast and a juggernaut and run totally different to Tottenham Hotspur, but they've gone through a really bad patch in form, not injuries. I know some injuries, but form, and they've gone out and they've spent more money on 3 players so far this transfer window than the whole Premiership spent in the last transfer window. So deals can be done, but it just depends on who you've got doing your deals for you. And I'm sorry to say this. This is not a pump up. The statement I'm going to say is we have an inept director of football and crew because they've done absolutely nothing. I think there's a load of wanted. If you ever, people used to watch the old cowboy films, used to get the wanted posters. Well, all these wanted posters with Langer and his team, they've been put out everywhere throughout the world, and no one can find them. So nobody wants the reward.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Mr. Chang, before we go on to the match, just finish with you. Do you think there's an argument that we're not buying anyone because we don't know the future of Ange Postecoglou?
I'll say this, and I'll say this about our transfer window, or rather our transfer signings, the hope of any transfer signings coming between now till the closure of this January transfer window. Ange Postecoglou himself has come out in a press conference, I believe it was yesterday, on Saturday, the 25th of January, saying that we are playing with fire if we do not bring anyone in. That in itself tells me that he needs players. He's pretty much, you could call it somewhere like a veil. It's not a veiled threat, somewhere like a statement where you need to read between the lines. But to me, it's as clear as day. That is his SOS to the board, to Daniel Levy, to Enoch, to anyone who would hear his pleas. Get players in, because bringing back loan players like Dane Scarlett doesn't help. We have other better players currently at the club. Dane Scarlett, for me, I was actually quite hesitant on the news of bringing Dane Scarlett back, because theoretically, if you bring back any loanees, the chances are we will not sign another player for that loanee that we've brought back. So I really hope that's not something that comes to pass, because we definitely need someone of Solanke's caliber to face Liverpool in the second leg. Not someone who can just score, someone who holds up the ball, brings up other players into the game. And that's exactly what I'm hoping from Lee Smithy-Smith. And speaking of Lee Smithy-Smith, Prue, I am really hoping Richarlison does the Prue for Lee Smithy-Smith and all our sakes, because we really need Richarlison back. He's already scored once, Richarlison, last weekend against Everton at Goodison Park. Hopefully, he can make it 2-2, Richarlison. But otherwise, yeah, I think we definitely need signings, and soon, because we know that last-minute deals don't usually work in our favor. Having said that, back to you, Miss Kate.
Yeah, and as Jose says, happy Australia Day as well. So it's Bill Nick's birthday and Australia Day, so it's a big day for everybody. I did see Tottenham for Life has put in as a predicted 11, and he's actually normally very good at this. So he's gone with Kinski, Porro, Dragushin, Davis and Gray, Bergvall, Bentancur, Madders, Kulu, Richarlison, Son. That is exactly the same prediction that I made, except I didn't put Son in. I put Mikey Moore in because I think Sonny needs a rest. Jose, what do you think of that lineup? Any changes you'd make?
For me, I would bring in. I'd play Reguilon. I'd play Reguilon, but it's clear Porro needs a rest. Put Reguilon in. Kulusevski, listen, he's been really good for us all season. Give the man a rest. Bring Mikey Moore in. For me, you cannot keep flogging these players over and over again. There's no point us saying we see that they're dead on their feet. There's other players that are beginning to become dead on their feet, but these players have played for us practically the whole season. So for me, you know, at the end of the day, I know we need to win, but surely with Mikey Moore in there and Reguilon, we must have enough with the rest of them players to get past Leicester today. We need to give these players rest. There's no point talking about it and, you know, and not doing it. We need to give these players rest. If these players don't get a rest, they're going to go the same way that someone like Solanke's gone, where he's then picked up an injury. Sarr picked up an injury. Basuma's picked up injuries. These people have picked up injuries because they're fatigued. They're not being swapped around. They're playing too many games. So for me, it's a good lineup. Don't get me wrong. Something for Life. He's got a good lineup there. But for me, I'm on the crusade and have been on the bandwagon for a fair while now on ensuring that we give Porro and Kulu a rest. I mean, I was calling out for Porro, Kulu and Solanke to have a rest. And it was the week that Solanke ended up getting injured and we lost Solanke. And, you know, and this is what's going to happen. We keep flogging up our players, we will get more injuries. And what we want is we want to get through games, but no injuries. We need players back, not players going out again, so to speak. But it's a good lineup.
Yeah. Jimbo, we were speaking last night about the lineup, and we were saying it's not really the time we want to see Ange make that many changes. I've got a feeling Ange isn't that keen on Reguilon. I'm not going to lie. I don't think he particularly wants to play him.
I don't think he is.
I agree with Jose that he can't play in Europe, so he's a good one to play. But, I mean, Jimbo, he is really short of options, right? I mean, what's your thoughts on this lineup? Would you start Sonny? What are you thinking?
I think I would go with the same lineup as Tottenham for Life, and have a really strong first half, like we did against Hoffenheim, and then make some changes at half time. I think
the lineup is actually out, so let me get it up here and we can actually look at it together. Let's look at it together. We have got the actual lineup is Kinski in goal with Porro, Dragushin, Davis and Gray. Then we've got Benny, Bergvall and Sarr, which is interesting because we was told that he had a knock. Kulu, Richie and Sonny on the wing. So a strong lineup. I say a strong lineup. Yeah. Maddison doesn't even make the bench. Now, I'm not sure what's happened there. But you've got Austin on the bench with Reguilon, Basuma, Ajayi, Oluwesi, Minhyuk, Moore and Lancashire. So Madders, who I thought was an absolute banker to start today against his old team, doesn't even make the bench, Jimbo. What's your initial thoughts?
He must have a knock or something, Kate, or he must not. He must be ill because he would be there somewhere. I think he would be in instead of Sarr. So that's what I would think. There's no reason why he wouldn't have him on the bench at worst ways. So look, it's another team that we've had to throw together. It's still a good team, and it's well capable of beating Leicester. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit. I'm googling it to see if I can get any news on Maddison. So if anyone hears anything, then please do let me know. But Chang, what's your thoughts on that lineup?
I think the only one that kind of disappoints me, well, not really disappoints me, the one player which I really wanted to see start, and I believe Senor Garcia has already mentioned him, Sergio Reguilon. I believe that him for either Archie Gray or Porro would have been a better fit, especially since Archie Gray himself has been running on empty. Archie Gray playing at left back, right back, center midfield, defensive midfield, is there a position in that back four that he can't play in? This lad is just sensational. And having said that, I think he is fast becoming one of our more important players this season. Having said that, I would also like to see more start. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sonny has been outstanding for us, especially away at Hoffenheim. But if things don't go our way, I would really love to see Mikey Moore come on as soon as that second half gets underway in his skate. Otherwise, then I think it's pretty much status quo in terms of the players. I am going to refrain from speculating on Madison, because I think it would be really disrespectful if we don't really know what his current situation is. But otherwise, if things go our way, then I can't see why Bissouma shouldn't be coming on for either one of Sar, Bergvall, or Kulusevski, or even Bentancur. Come to think about it, seeing as we might need all of them fit for next midweek against Elfsborg. Back to you, Miss Kate.
I'm literally, I read what Smithy said, that Maddison is there. He travelled with the team. All I'm finding is just people going, no Maddison, and question marks with no news yet. But I'm sure we will get news as to why he's not starting. Jose, what are you making of that team selection?
You can't go with what you go. Again, Porro's playing, Kulusevski's playing. When are we going to learn? I know that needs must at times, but needs have musted for a long time. And I mean, I'm hoping against this, and I'm hoping it never happens. But I can only see one thing happening, and that is Porro and Kulu. If we don't swap and we don't bring players in, I can only see these two players being run to the absolute ground.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping beyond hope they do not get injured. I really hope they don't get injured. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think Sar. I said this the last time that Sar played before he got injured. I said that Sar needs to put in a shift in the game whereby people say, "Oh, Sar did play today. Oh, Sar did this today. Oh, Sar did that today." He can't be a passenger and he can't be anonymous, which is what at the end of some games I was like, "Oh, so was Sar in the team today?" So yeah, we've got legs in. Well, with Sar coming back and missing the last couple of games, you'd like to think we've got some legs there. As Chang said earlier, with Biss being on the subs bench, although he's not played the last couple of games, you would like to think he can provide a bit of legs and energy if he comes off the bench. Mikey Moore, I don't know what Mikey Moore needs to do to get a start, because Mikey Moore, he looks more a first teamer than a lot of players, and it could well be that a lot of these players are running on empty. It's like fumes at the moment, and it could be that where Mikey Moore is rejuvenated. He's a youngster. He wants to really, get his teeth into a game, and so hopefully we've got legs from him. And Reguilon could come in, and we're going to need 5 substitutions today. We will need 5 substitutions. We need this to be a 16-player game today because we're running on fumes. Who else is on the subs bench? Oluwase's on there again, isn't he?
Yeah, Oluwase's on there. Austin, Reguilon, Bissouma, Ajayi, Oluwase, Minhyuk, Moore, and Lancashire.
So Lancashire could probably get some game time as well again today. I don't know enough about Minhyuk. He looks like he's a token player that we bought this season. He's paraded on the subs bench, but he's not actually got on the pitch yet, so we don't know nothing about him at all. But yeah, at the end of the day, we need to put a shift in. We need to put a shift in with the 11 we've got, and when we make the substitutions, they're going to need to put a shift in as well.
Yeah, I agree. Big up Steve D, who was drunk and disorderly last night on the phone with us, providing us with much entertainment. So big up to you. he was there. I've just seen Maddison arrive, so I'm not sure. But I've been saying for weeks I don't think Maddison and Ange have got a very good relationship, and I'm wondering if this is just another example of that. I don't know. It's purely me speculating. Apart from that, he has gone strong. I am concerned with Archie Gray as well, because he's going to end up getting himself injured, I think. But it's like, what do you do? Do you know what I mean? You can only do what he's got, but I would have rested Son and started more. But you never know. He may be planning on giving Son, giving Son 45 minutes and then bringing on more. I don't know, but I agree with you, Jose. I think he looks more like a first teamer than a lot of our senior players. But he has gone strong. He's a manager under pressure. But then again, so is Ruud van Nistelrooy, who has put out this team for Leicester. I'm not going to attempt to say the goalkeeper's name. Is it Stolazijk?
It's a brand of vodka anyway.
Oh, lovely. Then we've got Justin Vestergaard, FaZe, Christensen, Winks. Is that Sumari?
Sumari, yep.
Yeah. Oh my God, why can't they just have
Kanoush?
Kanoush. Dulkova Reed, Ayu and Vardy, who must be nearly 150. And then on the bench, we've got Iverson, Koulibaly, Cody, Okolai, Skip, McAteer, Buonanotte, Mavididi, and Daka. So
that was that was a word for, wasn't it?
That is a mouthful of those players. Chang, anyone there that worries you? I mean, obviously Vardy, he likes to score against Spurs. Let's be fair. Don't matter how old he is. He does like jumping up with a goal for Tottenham. But any concerns from that lineup there?
Okay. I'm not a Spurs supporter for over 3 decades if I don't think that the one player that will come back to haunt us in that lineup would be Wingsy. Honestly, if there was one player whom we have to look out for, it's that very same player whom we so-called discarded in favor for the current midfielders that we have. And God knows, I fear that he will be the one player who really lights up that midfield today. So Sarr has got his hands full in terms of keeping him quiet. If we can nullify Wings, then that should play a big part in cutting out the supply line to the forwards. And hopefully that should in turn give us ample opportunities going forward. But other than that, Miss Kate, I mean, Vardy would be a good test for both Dragushin and Ben Davies, because I think Ben Davies should have the better, or rather should have the beating of Vardy, because if not, then he might as well pack his bags, Davies, if he can't even do a job over Vardy. But otherwise, yeah, for me, Harry Winks would be the one player to look out for on his much awaited return to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Back to you, Miss Kate.
Yeah, I mean, a controversial comment here that I agree with, actually. Man, I forgot Skip was there too. I miss him. I do actually miss Skip. I know a lot of people have said we haven't replaced Højbjerg, but I always actually preferred Skip over Højbjerg. Jose, what's your thoughts on that?
No, I didn't prefer Skip over Højbjerg. I think sometimes, and these people might not be wrong because they're professionals, they get paid to do it, but sometimes people come out and make statements and say things just for the sake of it. And I haven't seen anything since it was Mourinho that said this guy will go on to be a future Tottenham captain, is what I think Mourinho said at the time. And to me, if he was going to be everything and above of what Mourinho said, then this player would have stayed at Tottenham Hotspur. There was a reason why Tottenham Hotspur moved him on. And so he couldn't get game time with Tottenham Hotspur. And now he's gone to one of the relegation threatened sides and he can't get game time there either. So I think that kind of tells you everything that you need to know about Skip. Yes, he was one of our own whilst he was at our club. The day that he walked out the door, I wished him all the best and I left it at that. So, you know, he's made his bed. He left Tottenham. He needs to lie in it at Leicester. What I will say about the Leicester lineup is no, I'm not afraid of anyone in the Leicester lineup, but I will say that you've got to play tighter because you can't give space to Vardy. Vardy, although he's 30, whatever he is now, he is, I don't know what he drinks. He must drink about 20 cans of Red Bull before a game because he's still, like we used to say, shit off a shovel. He's so quick. He really is quick. And I don't think Dragusin and Davis giving him 5 yards, I don't think they'll keep up with him. So you just got to cut. You got to cut the space in between the passing lanes so the ball doesn't get to him.
Yeah. Look, Jim, I don't need to tell you we've lost 7 of our last 10 Premier League games. Leicester have lost 7 on the bounce, so there's lots of 7s being flung around. Although Andrew's under massive pressure and he's been criticised massively, we are still in all 3 cups.
Yeah.
But you're one of these at the start of the season who said, I don't want to finish low. I want to win a cup, but I want to keep up the league form. You know, it's not acceptable if we drop down. For you, where is an acceptable finish from where we are now for you to say, you know what, that's all right?
I said a lot at the start of the season, Kate. That ain't coming true. I'm getting used to it. Look, we need to finish in the top 8 from here. I mean, and even to me, that's like unthinkable. But I still think we're finishing the top 8. I do. It's going to be like today. We will win today. I'm so sure of that. I don't think we'll lose at home to Leicester. I mean, they were lucky to get a draw at their place. If we'd have took our chances in the first half, it would have been 5-0 at half time. But we didn't take our chances and it ended up a draw. But we won't lose this today. This will be the start of our recovery. I'm hoping, you know, players are going to start filtering back now. We're coming to the end of January. He said end of January, beginning of February, players will start filtering back. And we'll start moving up the table. Another one of my predictions. Let's see how true it comes.
I hear you. We've got 688 watching and only 84 likes. So can we smash the like button, please? We should have at least, let's go mad. Let's say we should have at least 344 because at least half of you should smash a like, surely.
Someone's just called me deluded, right? Ching Wang Spurs. It's better to be deluded than sit here saying this is going to happen. We're going to end up in the relegation battle, and I'd rather be deluded. Thanks.
To be fair, Jimbo, if someone had said to me at the start of the season, as much as you said we might win the league, if someone had said we're going to be sitting in 15th come January, I'd have laughed and said, not a chance is that going to happen. So anyone that says we're deluded or whatever, unless you've got a crystal ball, I don't think anybody thought we would be sitting in 15th spot. And realistically, there's no way we should be sitting in 15th spot. But I was going to say to you, Jose, I think it's kind of a bit of a blessing. Leicester are without Ndidi. I quite like him. That Fatawu, whatever his name is, and Pereira, they're all out. I've just realised I've become one of those people that I don't like that can't say footballers' names right. And I've actually become what I despise because I'm absolutely useless at saying player names. But they have got Koulibaly, who's their new signing on the bench. Do you think Leicester have got a team that deserve to be? I know the table tells the story, but I don't think their squad's that bad. However, they look an almost certainty to go down. Do you think they're just a championship team? That's the level that they're at.
I thought last season in the championship there were better teams than Leicester. I thought Leeds had a better side than Leicester, and Leeds didn't go up. So, you know, Leicester have come up. They've not bought loads and loads of players of any note. And it's not just Leicester; it's the other 2 teams that have come up as well. You cannot to bridge that gap from the Championship to the Premiership is a massive one to bridge, right? And you've got to there's got to be luck along the way. You've got to get it extremely right or close to right in the players that you bring in, and then you've also got to be lucky with how the season goes. I think that with Leicester, I can see why Leicester went for Van Nistelrooy because of the month that Van Nistelrooy had looking after Man United and how he turned the same kind of players that Ten Hag had into winning that or into better performances for the month that he was there. But do I think Leicester have improved as well under Van Nistelrooy? No, I don't. If anything, I think they've regressed. You know, they've not stagnated and stopped. I just think they've regressed. Attacking wise, and I don't want to call Dr. Tottenham out, but attacking wise, they seem to have got worse under Van Nistelrooy, which is quite weird because Van Nistelrooy was a striker. But and defensively, they've got ever so slightly better. But you look at that team, and I think to myself, well, before the game started today, I look at the Leicester's team squad, whatever, and yeah, to me, they're not better than Wolves. They ain't better than Everton. So yeah, to me, I think they like I said, and I always say, in the league table, it doesn't lie. You deserve to be where you are in the league, whether you've got sub stories or not. You deserve to be where you are. We are 15th for a reason because they're the points we've picked up, which makes that we are 15th. And what we need to do is we need to worry about ourselves and not worry about our opponents and just start getting the W's and climbing up this table.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Ange just said that Madison's he's okay. He's sore from the other night, so he's not going to take a chance with him because we need him going forward.
This is why when I try and prepare for a show, one of my questions was, how important is it for Maddison to play against his old team and put in a good performance? Well, it's not important now because he's not playing. So all my questions I asked.
They've got the injury list up, right? They've got
Jim, just what you were saying. From what you were saying, Jim, that you said Ange said that.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to say to you, Jim, is, and what about Porro? And what about Kulu? They're running on fumes on empty. So why are they not getting? Let's not risk them either.
You know what the difference is, I think, Jose, if you don't mind me saying, I think the difference is Maddison will cry and say, "Oh, I'm a bit sore," whereas Porro and Kula will just play through it and just crack on. I think Maddison's a bit of a crybaby on the quiet.
They've got the number of injuries up. Tottenham have got 12, Bournemouth 9, Brentford 9, Brentford 8, Arsenal 7, Manchester United 7, Wolves 7, and Everton 7.
Wow. But you look at Bournemouth yesterday, smashing Nottingham Forest 5-0, and there's no excuses there that they're injured. I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying. But yeah, I do think Maddison is a bit of a crybaby. That's why I really wasn't that keen on signing him in the first place. But he's here. But yeah, Porro, the man that costs us every week. I think literally Porro's form's dropped because, like Jose said, I think he's just absolutely knackered. But he can only play with what he's got. Chang, with Solanke being out for, they're saying March now, do you think there's any danger at all that Lancashire is going to be given a start anytime soon or some decent minutes?
I really do hope so, not only for his sake, but all our sakes, Miss Kate. And assuming we do win in midweek against Elfsborg, I think Lancashire should be a sure starter for our dead rubber, the last final remaining group game of the Europa League stage. And I think it's not only just Lancashire, if I'd be perfectly honest with you, Miss Kate. I mean, Oluwesi has had a taste of it in our win over Hoffenheim. And I think it's not only him. Min Hyuk, as Jose mentioned earlier, I think he will get some minutes and make his debut for us in a competitive match this season. The only question is when. It's only a matter of time for the likes of Min Hyuk. But for Will Lancashire, let's just hope Richarlison is able to channel his pro, get us a good 2 or 3 goals lead, and then we'll see the likes of Lancashire coming on first before, say, Min Hyuk himself gets his chance. And I think we will be seeing a lot more of these youngsters and the academy players featuring for us. It's only a matter of just how much is it a risk for Big Ange to be deploying them in a season that has already cost us so much in terms of late substitutions, or in most cases, no substitutions at all? So having said that, if Lancashire does stick to the pitch, I wish him all the best. And when the time comes for him to really show his true colours, may it be in lily white for us.
Yeah. I agree. Old does matters have a boo-boo. Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. Just seeing the team, imagine having a fully fit left back on the bench, but picking a centre mid to play there instead. Jose, do you think there's any truth in? It's not just me that said it. There's a lot of people saying it, that Ange isn't keen on Reguilón, doesn't want to start him. And if so, even if that is the case, surely he's in a position where he should have started him. Needs must.
So first of all, I'm going to address Nicholas Stockling. Yeah, you're quite right. We have to win. I know we have to win, but I'm just looking at the longer picture and the long game, whereby we keep flogging Kulu and Porro. But yeah, I agree we have to win. But to me, will he take them off at half time? Do you see what I mean? Will he take them off at half time? Will he give them the rest that they need? I don't think he will. The way they are at the moment, and it could well be what Kate said earlier, that these two players are kind of in their makeup are just like warriors that just want to play every game. But they just put themselves in a position where they're in danger of picking up injuries now because they're being overplayed. With regards to your...
Sorry, Jose, let's be honest, right? He's onto a hiding to nothing. Because if he puts the youngsters in and we do absolutely shit, and Kulu and Porro's on the bench, people are going to say, why didn't he start Kulu and Porro? He's onto a hiding to nothing. Look, at the end of the day, someone just said about the injuries, no excuse because Bournemouth are doing well. But we got three more injuries than them, right? If we brought the three new players in tomorrow, right, it would make a massive difference to our squad to have three fresh players. So them extra three injuries do make a difference.
Yeah, but Reguilón's not a kid.
At the end of the day, Ange's the manager and he's picking the team, right? He's obviously not picking Reguilón for a reason. Not because he doesn't want him on the pitch. If he was showing it in training or doing really well, I'm sure he would pick him. There's obviously a reason he's not picking Reguilón.
Yeah, Reguilón's not a kid, but I'm just saying that these two players have been running the ground. But as for your question, Kate, I think Reguilón is a player that none of the managers have fancied Reguilón for whatever reason.
None of them.
Whether it's footballing ability, whether it's off the field, because there's a lot of stories saying that off the field he prefers to do Instagram and stuff like that. You hear all this stuff, right? But anyway, regardless of that, none of the managers have fancied Reguilón, right? And if anything, Reguilón is in his last year of his contract. I believe it finishes in this summer. And he was one of the players that I think Tottenham, if they could have got a little bit of mustard for him, they would have moved him on now in this winter transfer window. But we've got to a situation of where we are at the moment, whereby with all the injuries that we've got, and a Doggy being out, and now Spencer's out, and and Porro's never going to get a rest. We probably need Reguilón more just as backup now, whether he gets game time or not, than selling him to another club. And it's quite a weird one because Reguilón wanted out, the club wanted him out. The club wanted him out in the summer, and Reguilón is another one that they could have got, like I said, a little bit of mustard for. But with the predicament that we're in at the moment, I don't know. Tottenham have got to make a decision in the last 10 days. Do you keep him around because of the just as an emergency now backup because he doesn't even get a lot of game time, or do you just let him go in the last 10 days of the window? And it's a decision Tottenham need to make.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't pin the message, but Spurs have said that James, who was on target and provided an assist in Thursday's win over Hoffenheim, felt some soreness after the trip to Germany and wasn't 100% ahead of today's game. So that is why he's out. And I, for one, am massively disappointed that he is out because I was looking forward to him playing against Leicester again. But it is what it is. We should still have enough to beat Leicester, I would think. Chang Ange survived another week. A lot of people are waking up every day really and looking, going, how's he still here? Not me, per se, although I'm not his biggest fan. Are you of the opinion that Levy is giving him till the Liverpool game and the second leg of the Cup to just see if he can get us through to the final and take it from there?
I think if Big Ange really does make it past Liverpool and somehow miraculously get us into the final, regardless of how we do from between Liverpool and that cup final, he should be given a chance to see it through. I really do not want a repeat of that Jose Mourinho incident, whereby we sack our manager just days or even weeks before a cup final, if they do deserve the chance to manage the team, having got us through to so many of those other big clubs, the likes of your Man Cities and Uniteds, and getting past Liverpool is no mean feat. But having said that, I mean, there are multiple factors and permutations as to how this is going to work out, either in terms of the club's reputation or even the players' morale, even the financials, if it comes down to it. Because at the end of the day, it's all dollars and cents. So it's far too early to say, but I do remember many months ago when things started to take a turn for the worse. I did say that Big Ange should be given the chance to see it out past United in the quarterfinals, and we did just that. And now, if we do see it past Liverpool in his semi-finals, I don't see why he shouldn't be given a chance to manage us in the final. And I still stand by what I said on the perfect match, that Big Ange must be given till the end of the season before we start grading him. You never know. The League Cup, if we do make it to the final of the League Cup, but we fail to win it, it still is a big achievement, regardless of where we finish in the league this season. And he might just even repeat the feats in the FA Cup and the Europa League, which is why I still am not giving up hope on him. But in order for him to even have any chance of getting a cup final, let alone winning a trophy, he needs to be back. He needs reinforcements. Not signing players is exactly what he's already said yesterday in the press conference. He's going to be playing with fire. And at that rate, even if he's not playing with fire, it's the board they are looking to fire him if they don't back him. And I cannot see any way for him to survive if he doesn't get those players. So I think it's only a matter of time before the end of the transfer window where we really know where the board stand with Big Ange and our coaching staff, Miss Kate. Back to you.
Yeah, I agree. Just quickly, Austin is on the bench with Reguilón, Basuma, Ajayi, Oluwesi, Minhoik, Moore, and Lancashire. I know a couple of people have asked who was on the bench. Jose, was you going to say something when Chang started? You looked like you was going to say something.
I didn't know who was asking the question, but then it's obviously Chang. So I said, okay, for you asking Chang. Can I just say, looking at the lineup, am I wrong? Yeah. Have I just thought this up? Isn't the subs bench? Can't you name 9 subs in a match day squad?
Yes.
Okay, it's weird. We've only got 8.
Yeah, we haven't got another one.
Yeah, because we haven't got the players. That's why.
But we had 11 on the bench for the European game. Okay, we had a second goalkeeper, but we also had Hardy on the bench the other night.
True.
We had Casanova on the bench the other night. So it's just kind of weird. Madders turns up to the ground, right, with the rest of the squad, and yet we only pick 8 subs. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just looking at it and thinking to myself, it just it's weird. I thought we would have had 9 on there because of the position that we're in. But anyway, it is.
Okay, can I just say, it makes me laugh. There's people in the chat saying, not loads, but some of them saying that using the injuries as an excuse. No one's using it as an excuse. It's just a fact. We've got 12 injuries. It makes a huge difference. We've got 3 more injuries than Bournemouth, and 5 more than Brentford, then 6 more than the 5 more than the rest. Sorry, 4 more than Brentford. It makes a huge difference. You've got 3 extra people you can put out there. Someone put out there that could be Van der Ven, Romero, and your doggy. Them 3 make a huge difference. So the injuries do make a difference. And the team that goes out there, you've got to hope they're going to give their best, and we can get a win. But saying not using excuses and injury, you can, of course you can. It's massive. 12 injuries is huge. That's a squad.
Well, it's not really an excuse; it's a fact. However, what I
yeah.
will say is, if Bournemouth can cope with 9, we, as Tottenham Hotspur, the empire, this big top 6 club we're supposed to be, should be able to cope with it. But we don't, and that is on Levy for not
That's on
making sure
Levy
we've got a big enough squad. I mean, we say it every year. Yeah,
he needs to bring players in to help Ange out, you know. But I
yeah.
don't think Ange is picking a team to go out and lose. He's picking a team that he thinks can go out there and win. He doesn't want to lose matches. He wants to win matches.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree, but Paige says, how is talking about injuries crying? It's normal when you have a lot of players injured, it will affect your season. Yeah, I mean, if you took out Saliba, Gabriel from Arsenal, they obviously they've got Jesus out as well, and took out, that's 3 of their key players, and took out another, whatever it is, 7 or 8. They're going to struggle. It is factual. I'm sorry people don't like it. It's not an excuse. It's factual. But it is what it is. I think this is a strange question from Bill. I don't know if anyone wants to answer it or just take it that it's strange, because I don't think any manager sabotages.
Bill, let's be honest. He's not on a sabotage mission. He wants to go out there and win games, right? Maybe his tactics are wrong, right? I'm not a manager, so I don't know, right? If what he's doing, what I see sometimes I don't like, and what other times I see I like, right? I'm not going to say I'm Ange in or Ange out, because I just back whoever's there, right? And if he goes, I won't lose any sleep, and I'll back the next manager. But he's not on a sabotage mission, Bill. He wants to win games. Of course he wants to win games. He's on 5 million a year. He doesn't want to lose his job. You know, he's at a big club. He wants to win things so he can be the manager that says, since Levy took over, I won them trophies. You know, they've only won 1 trophy. So I don't think it's on a sabotage mission. I just think we've been unlucky and had a real shit season with losing our best players. Be it Ange's fault because of the training, I don't know, right? Because I'm not there. But when I watch their training, it don't look like it's that intense where they're going to pick up loads and loads of injuries. You know, I don't know, but I don't think he's on a sabotage mission, not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I get that people don't like what they're seeing. I don't like the fact we're in 15th. I can't even remember the last time we was down in 15th. Anyone got any idea?
Well, someone just said as well in the chat, and
before Harry took over, we were in 20th, weren't we?
Yeah.
Of course.
Eight games, 2 points.
And someone just said, Kate, that as well, that we're in 4 competitions still. You know, Bournemouth are in 1. That makes a huge difference as well. They're playing once a week. We're playing 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to look, if you're gonna be Ange out, right, you've got to look at the overall picture as well. And you have to be honest, and there is reasons why we ain't doing as good as we're doing. And be it some of his tactics, it could well be because of that, right? But there is other factors as well. So let's not just like put it in one little bubble and say it's Ange's fault for everything. There's a whole package of it that why we're in 15th. But we are playing 3 times a week, which makes a huge difference with a depleted squad.
I will say, just before we go to the score predictions, anyone remember Wembley 1-2 down at half time, win 5-4? I'm feeling a similar batshit crazy match. I was looking at our old matches. I think Kane scored 2, Lamella scored 2 in that game. But yeah, we have had some real battles with Leicester, Jimbo. I remember driving through the Yorkshire Moors on my 40th birthday, and we was listening to Leicester. It was the last game of the season.
Yeah, that's right.
We was listening to Leicester. I think it ended up 4-3 or something like that.
It was a mad game, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I expect there to be lots of goals in this game for sure.
I do remember the camera did cut over to Paul Gascoigne, who was doing some sort of jiggly dance when Kane scored that winner. That's the one. Yep, that's the one at Wembley.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah, he was doing that.
Just put, we're not playing 3 times a week. Well, we are practically playing 3 times a week. We play Sunday, midweek, Sunday. You know,
we've played 3 times a week. We've played 3 times a week for 3 months since the beginning of October all the way to the end of January. It's been 3 games a week. Don't be kidding yourself. It's 3 games a week.
Yeah. I miss Kane too.
So do
I really miss Kane so much. But we can't look back. We've got to look forward, and we've just got just over half an hour till kickoff. Ben is at the match, so it's Sim and Amir doing a watch along, which starts, I believe, at 1:45. But I am looking for your goal scorers and also the score. What you think it's going to be?
Can I just say, Chin Wang's, whatever his name is, Spurs. It's not boo-hoo, and it's not any more excuses. It's pure facts. If you're gonna bring things up, right, and throw mud, you've got to bring facts into it as well, right? Which you don't seem to be able to do. All you want to do is moan about everything that's going bad. But bring facts into it, and then maybe you'll see a different light to it.
Insomniac says 2-0 Spurs win. Skip and Winks with own goals. I like it. 3-1 says damn. Chang, what's your score prediction and who's scoring the goals? What are you feeling?
I still expect us to win, although a clean sheet might be a bit too much of an ask. I will be sticking to my 2-1 prediction, which I made on the Perfect Match 2 days ago. And now that I've seen the lineups, I would really expect, or rather I do hope, for Richarlison to score 2 in 2 in the league. And the other goal should be shared between either Sonny or Kulusevski. I really do hope it's Sonny who then can make it 4 in 4, because he already has 3 in 3 since his goal against Woolwich. So 4 in 4 for Sonny would be a good way to further shush his detractors. But Kulusevski scoring 2 in 2 in the league wouldn't be a bad way to cement his status as our undoubted player of the season, regardless of how we finish this season. So yeah, I am very much sticking to my 2-1 prediction, Miss Kate, and Richarlison had better be in that score sheet for us, because we started off this show talking about Solanke. So I really do hope Richarlison can step up big time and fill those Solanke boots, Miss Kate.
Yeah, I agree. Lafu says 4-2. Sarr, Richie, Brace and Bergvall or Deke, the two from Leicester, both be from Vardy. Hamdan said, if Spurs win 7-0 today, then I will forgive Spurs for putting me through all this pain. The World of Football says Tottenham 4, Leicester 2, Son, Richarlison with 2, Son 2, Richarlison 2, Vardy 1, Reed 1. Okay, sorry, I read that completely wrong. It's like when the printer's broken in the office and the service users are moaning, but the big boss won't pay to get it fixed, so you're completely helpless. Feel for Ange. Yeah, someone can only work with the tools that they're given at the end of the day. But Jose, what are you feeling about today's game?
So yeah, as people know, I do a prediction show on my channel on a Friday with a load of people, and I discussed predictions for this weekend. And I turned around and said on Friday that for me, I can only see the bottom 3 teams getting trounced this weekend. Even though Newcastle's flights were cancelled because of the storm, and that they had to find alternative travel to get down to Southampton, which was a long trip for them. And lo and behold, 2 of the 3 games have now finished. Ipswich got pumped at Liverpool, Newcastle pumped Southampton, and I see no reason on Friday when I was saying that that we will pump Leicester as well. So I think Leicester, regardless of what team Leicester stack out, not knowing the lineup that we've got today, because you don't know that on a Friday, I went for 4-0. I'm sticking with 4-0. And with them goal scorers, I wanted Maddison to be part of my goal scoring team, but Maddison's not here today. So I'm going to go for... Who's up front for us? Okay, I'm going to go for Sonny, Son, Richarlison, Mikey Moore.
Excellent. 4-0 win. So a nice clean sheet as well for Kinski. Wow. Well, a lot of people have been saying Kate predicted this and Kate predicted that. I've said all week 2-2. I'm saying 2-2. I hate playing Leicester. There are always loads of goals. And I'm sticking with it. I don't like, well, people say that's not true. I was going to say I don't like to flip-flop, but I do like to flip-flop. But on this occasion, I'm going to stick with my 2-2 prediction. My goals are going to be Richie. No, I can't do Richie. Kulu to get one, Bentancur to get one, and the other two I think will be Vardy and in fact he'll probably get both. So I'm sticking with 2-2, and I apologise in advance for being so negative. But Jimbo, come on, what's going to happen today?
4-1 Spurs. Right, I got blue running through my veins. I'm a proper Spurs supporter. I love Spurs.
Why? Surely.
And
Why?
if I blue and white, if I don't like the manager or not, right, I don't shout out about it. I just get behind him until he's sacked and then get behind another one. So I'm predicting a 4-1 win because I love this club and I won't sit here slagging them down like some people. I'll just get behind them. 4-1 the Spurs.
And who scores?
I don't care, Kate. I don't care. 4-1.
So you're not going to give goal scorers?
Sonny 2. Let's go Kulu 1. And let's give Bergvall a goal. He's due another goal.
Cantab says, you have been watching the Cape pump down. Look, I didn't do us to lose. And someone said, do I ever think Spurs will win? Yeah, I do. I do think Spurs. I back Spurs to beat Arsenal. But at the minute, I just don't see, because we are so down to the bare bones, I just don't really see the wins coming thick and fast. But at the same time, I do look at Leicester and the situation they're in, 7 games without a win. And if we don't beat these, we are in a bit of trouble. But I'm sticking with my flip-flopping. I'm not flip-flopping, sorry, and I'm sticking with my 2-2. But we've got 836 in, we've got 197 likes. Not too bad, but, you know, not great. Kate, do you feel the same as you did on TalkSport last week about Postecoglou? Yes, I do. And if you don't know what that means, then you obviously didn't listen to the TalkSport phone. So I'm going to leave you on tenterhooks. But please make sure you subscribe to Mr. Chang over at Spurs Diehards TTID. I believe the link's also in the description on the video. Also to Jose over at ElTelCockerel. Make sure you go and sub to Jose. And also to myself and Jimbo. We've changed the tagline of our show because it wasn't showing up. So you can just get us now. It's easy. Just go at Kate and Jimbo. If you think, oh, with that couple, you know, Kate and Jimbo, what's their site? You just go Kate and Jimbo and we're there. Because we are the only Kate and Jimbo in the world. Let's be fair. Kate's being realistic. We haven't won a league game for ages. Yeah, but I always, when I predict a loss or a draw, secretly, I'm hoping the football and they prove me wrong. No, I was on last week, Cantab. I don't have a regular slot on there. I'm not that big time. But please, everyone, stay where you are. The watch along with Sim and Amir is coming up. Then, of course, they have their match reaction and then the fan show. So you don't need to go anywhere. You can just stay at WeAreTottenhamTV all day. But enjoy the match, enjoy the game, cheer the boys on, hope and pray for a win because your cat parts.
I know, I saw that.
The meltdown, if we do happen to not win this game, will be
monumental. We will not to lose this game, Katie. We will win this game. This is a game Tottenham will win. Have to keep the faith. Get behind them. Stop crying.
I am behind them.
Get
100%.
behind them to win.
I am behind them 100,000,000%. Apologies for the pump down, but hopefully Jimbo's shouting, screaming, and Jose's 4-0 prediction and Chang's sneaky little win has pumped you all up. And I just deflate you a little bit. It's no good being too blown up or you'll explode. So have a great day, everyone. Jim's going to go and write the divorce papers up. I'm going to go and cook some dinner before the game. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Come on. Let's do this.
Yes, let's do this.